Hello and welcome to Mentum Planet 5 Quick Tips. In today's quick tip we'll be looking at setting up a planet project. So what do we need to set up a planet project? Well, let's look at what we need before we start. Where do we create the project from? What is the workflow needed to create a project? And finally, completing the project. Before we start, we need a source of geodata, which must be in the MapInfo vertical mapper format, GRD and GRC. We also need a location on our C or D drive, a local drive, to build the project. Where do we create the project from? There are two locations we can create the project from, either the file menu or directly from the start screen. Let's see that inside the tool. From inside Mentum Planet, you can click on the new project under the start page, or use the file menu and new project to open the project wizard. In this case, let's use the new project from the start page. So what is the workflow we'll be using? We'll be using the project creation wizard and also see if we can set up multiple technologies in a single project. In the project wizard, the first thing we need to do is set a location for our new project. We do this by selecting the browse button. When in selected directory, we want to place the new project in. Here I'm using the Planet5 directory that I created. Under demos, I'm going to create a new directory using the make new folder, and let's call it Texas. Once you've created your directory, just make sure it's selected and press OK. This brings us to the next step in the wizard, so let's press next. You notice the project name has been defined as the last directory you created, in this case Texas. Here we can select technologies. As you can see, there are many technologies to choose from. We will enable the LT-FTD technology, and let's also enable the wideband CDMA technology for UMTS. This will create two technologies in the same project. Select the next button. Here we can select the defaults for the two technologies, both LTE and WCDMA. Click the next button. Here is where we will define our geodata location. Hit the browse button and browse to where you've stored your geodata. In my case, on my D drive under geodata, and a subdirectory under United States I have called Texas. Under this directory you must create a clutter directory where you store your land usage files and a heights directory where you store your TTM files. Click OK. You will see that the primary heights file has defaulted to one of the ones in the height directory. In this case, I'm using Dallas1 at 5 meters for my heights file. I will select the corresponding clutter file to go along with Dallas1, in this case, the Dallas1 clutter file. Click Next. Here you can select your coordinate system to use, either the same as the terrain files or from a list from the drop-down list. In this case, we're choosing WGS84 lat long for this project. Click Next. That's it. We have finished with the wizard. We can hit finish for Planet to start creating the project. We now have the map file on the right hand side where you can expand. We now have the table list which we can drag onto our Project Explorer. Look at our layer control. We can drag our clutter file above our heights file. We can then of course zoom in to the downtown area of Dallas to see what that looks like. Here you have the central area of Dallas. There's the downtown buildings. You're now ready, and this project's been created, to use this project. We can check to see what technologies have been enabled by using the network settings. Here you can see the LT-FTD and the WCDMA technologies that have been created. You're now ready to use this project, so now we can go ahead and create some sites. That's it. You have now created a project. See you next time in the next quick tip.